Have you ever gazed at the stars and wondered what stories they hold, or felt a presence in the whisper of the wind or the crash of waves? The ancient Greeks did. For them, every mountain, every river, every breeze held a divine soul. As far back as the 11th century BCE, long before written history as we know it, incredible stories were being told around campfires and in bustling city-states. These weren't just simple tales. They were the building blocks of a universe where a sun god drove a fiery chariot across the sky, a moon goddess hunted through the silver night, and gods of the sea, forests, and even sleep watched over the world. This wasn't just imagination. It was a profound way of seeing the world, filled with religious emotion and poetic beauty. Over time, these countless stories began to weave together. A divine order emerged, ruled from the magnificent Mount Olympus by the mighty Zeus. Alongside him were the 12 Olympians, each with their own domain, creating a celestial kingdom that mirrored the human world below. These gods weren't distant, untouchable beings. They walked among mortals, their passions, desires, and conflicts shockingly human. They loved, they schemed, they fought, and they celebrated, their lives a grand, dramatic epic. And when the age of the gods began to fade, a new age dawned, the age of heroes. These heroes were extraordinary figures, often born from the union of a god and a mortal. They carried both divinity and humanity in their hearts. They laughed and raged, they loved and betrayed. Through their incredible journeys, they showed us the heights of courage, the depths of compassion, the brutality of war, and the tenderness of peace. But how do we know these stories? Without writing, these magnificent myths could have been lost forever, like whispers on the wind. On Mount Olympus, they say the muses sang immortal songs to preserve these tales. But here on earth, we owe our gratitude to the poets and writers who captured them. The Greek masters Homer and Hesiod, the great tragedians Aeschylus, Sophocles and Euripides, and later the Roman poets Virgil and Ovid. They took these oral traditions and gave them an everlasting form, allowing them to travel through millennia, still shining brightly today. Then, in the 19th century, a German scholar named Gustav Schwab took on the colossal task of gathering these scattered legends. He meticulously pieced them together, clarifying the family trees of the gods and organizing the myths into a coherent narrative. His masterpiece, Gods and Heroes of Ancient Greece, presents the epic saga from the dawn of creation to the twilight of the heroes. And the story begins with one of the most powerful tales of all, the theft of fire. In the beginning, when the world was new, the earth teemed with life. Birds sang, fish swam, and beasts roamed the land. But something was missing, a being of higher intelligence. Then a titan named Prometheus, whose name means foresight, came down to earth. He took clay and river water, and, in the image of the gods themselves, he sculpted the first humans. Into their hearts he sealed the seeds of both good and evil. The wise goddess, Athena, taking pity on these new beings, breathed into them the divine spark of spirit and life. And so humanity was born, but they were lost. They lived like sleepwalkers, without language, without tools, unable to farm or even understand the world around them. Prometheus's heart ached for his creation. He became their teacher. He taught them to read the stars, to measure time, to build homes, and to sail the seas. He gave them the secrets of medicine, the art of writing, and the skill of taming animals. Step by step, he guided humanity out of the darkness and toward the light of civilization. But this act of kindness enraged Zeus, the absolute ruler of Olympus. He had fought to establish his divine order and demanded unquestioning obedience from mortals. A great assembly was held to decide how humans should honor the gods. Prometheus, ever the trickster, prepared a sacrifice. He divided a great bull into two parts. One was a pile of bare bones, cleverly hidden under a layer of tempting, glistening fat. The other was all the fine meat, hidden under the unappealing stomach. Zeus, seeing the deception but choosing to play along to justify his anger, picked the pile of fat and bones. Very well, he must have thought. If they wish to keep the best for themselves, they will pay the price. Enraged, he took from humanity their most precious resource, fire. Darkness fell across the world once more, and humans huddled in the cold, their progress halted. Prometheus could not stand to see his creations suffer. In an act of pure defiance, he took a hollow fennel stalk, travelled to the heavens, and lit it from the fiery chariot of the sun itself. He secretly carried this sacred flame back to the mortal world. Fires once again lit up human settlements, warming their homes, cooking their food, and illuminating the path to knowledge. Zeus's fury was absolute. His punishment for Prometheus would be terrible and eternal. But the deed was done. From that moment on, fire became more than just a tool. It became the symbol of human ingenuity, wisdom, and progress. And Prometheus became the first true hero of Greek mythology, a rebel who challenged the gods, trading his own freedom for the enlightenment of humankind. Think about it, the power of fire. It's a force of creation and transformation recognized by cultures all over the world. From the sacred flames of ancient Persia to the philosophical fire of Heraclitus. In Greek mythology, that flame burns brightest as a symbol of the unstoppable human spirit, the eternal spark that dares to question authority and forever reaches for the light. The stories of ancient Greece are more than just old tales. They are the foundation of so much of our art, literature, and philosophy. They explore the deepest questions of what it means to be human. Thank you so much for joining me on this journey back in time. If you enjoyed this, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories from the ancient world. See you next time.